Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's Explainer. We are jumping right into it. Today, we're taking a deep, highly focused dive into some profound source material, unpacking the philosophical insights of Osho on human relationships. Specifically, we're going to look at the stark differences between finding a true connection and falling for the total illusion of love.
Tell me, have you ever experienced this? You're sitting right next to your partner, maybe they're even talking and smiling at you, but inside you just feel this massive, terrifying void. Like physically they are right there, but their emotional energy, it's miles away. It's an incredibly painful reality, and the source material brings this up right out of the gate. This very specific kind of loneliness is essentially the ultimate red flag. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the illusion of sweet words.
So the source text highlights a massive mistake pretty much all of us make in relationships. We take spoken words as absolute truth. In the context of Osho's specific writings, this is often framed around a dynamic between a man and a woman. Picture this. On one side, you've got the smiles, the polite agreements, all the sweet words. But on the other side, the actual underlying reality is a total absence of emotional pull. It's a distinctly cold energy. Osho refers to this as a mere formality. The words sound nice, sure, but they have absolutely no soul because they aren't backed by any genuine feeling.
Osho captures this massive disconnect with such a powerful thought. He says, the mind and heart never lie. Lies are only told by words. Just think about that for a second. We build our entire understanding of a relationship on sentences and text messages, right? When words are actually the easiest things in the world to fake. To find the real truth, Osho argues, we have to look past the spoken word. We have to look at the eyes and feel the unspoken energy. Moving on to Section 2, 7 Signs of Fake Love.
There are 7 incredibly common phrases that might sound super polite on the surface, but they actually serve as a mask for a complete lack of genuine affection. I'm willing to bet at least a few of these sound painfully familiar. I mean, we've all been handed one of these cliched breakup excuses before. Let's break down what they actually mean when the underlying energy is cold.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the devastating true meaning behind these phrases. When someone constantly says, I need space, they aren't actually looking to recharge. They are building a wall of distance. True love wants proximity. When you hear, you're a good person, well, it just means they objectively see your good qualities, but they don't feel a romantic pull towards you. Goodness does not equal chemistry. And not the right time? The source is crystal clear here. Love doesn't operate on a timetable. If they are waiting for the right time, trust me, that time is never going to come.
And the deflections keep coming. I never looked at you that way. A lot of people hear this and think, okay, maybe I can slowly change her mind. But Osho's philosophy argues that true love strikes like lightning. If the spark isn't there naturally, you can't just manufacture it. You'll find someone better is literally just a polite, smiling exit strategy so they can avoid feeling guilty. And finally, you have to change. True love accepts you exactly as you are. If she constantly demands you change your core self, she's in love with a fantasy in her head, not the real you.
So, when you are constantly bombarded with these mixed signals, sweet words paired with a cold reality, you end up here. The source material uses the Bengali term Golok Dada, which translates to the maze. It's a state of perpetual, exhausting, emotional confusion. You're trapped by the sweet words, kept just close enough to stay hopeful, but the utter lack of true connection leaves you wandering in the dark, totally lost and completely drained.
Which brings us to Section 3, the truth in silence.
If words are what lead us into that emotional maze, where is the undeniable truth? Well, you can fake words all day, but you cannot fake silence. According to the text, when true love is present, sitting in silence together feels like a beautiful, comforting song. There's real warmth and peace. But when the love is fake, the silence changes entirely. It feels like a heavy, suffocating stone resting right on your chest. The silence becomes awkward, agonizing, and incredibly tense.
The source shares this really brief but highly potent anecdote to drive this home. A husband approaches his wife, he's full of affection and says, I love you. The wife gives him a polite, plastic smile and replies, please, just leave me alone. Osho notes that in a moment exactly like this, there is absolutely no love. It is pure social formality. The words might be polite, the smile might technically be there, but that desire for isolation reveals the absolute truth.
All right, Section 4, Facing the Bitter Reality.
Once you actually feel the weight of that silent stone, you have to face a seriously hard truth. The greatest deception in the world is the one we play on ourselves. The source material delivers a heavy blow here. Staying in a dead relationship, just hoping it magically changes by morning, that is pure foolishness and self-deception. We lie to ourselves far more effectively than anyone else ever could.
Let's look at Section 5, Reclaiming Your Inner Power.
So the crucial point is, breaking out of that self-deception requires 3 clear, actionable steps. Step 1, accept the bitter truth. Stop fighting reality. Step 2, stop investing your soul and your energy cheaply into a void that simply doesn't appreciate it. When you pour your valuable time and love into that void, you literally bankrupt your own soul. And step 3, learn to love yourself first. As the text notes, society teaches us to constantly pour our love outward, but until you value yourself, you will just continue to accept fake love from others.
To help us really accept this, the source offers such a beautiful metaphor. A woman, and honestly, love itself, is like a flowing river. You can't just build a dam to force a river to flow toward you. If you try, the water just stagnates or it breaks the dam. If the river wants to flow to you, it will do so naturally, effortlessly, without any demands or obligations. Love simply must be free.
And this builds perfectly to our core takeaway from Osho's philosophy today. Fake love is poison. True love is nectar. It is 1,000 times better to be alone than to act in a fake relationship. Solitude actually brings peace. It gives you the space you need to heal and love yourself. Forcing a loveless connection, willingly drinking that daily poison of empty words and cold energy will only destroy you from the inside out.
Which brings us to the very end, and I want to leave you with a critical choice. Would you stay in a comfortable lie, trapped in the maze of sweet but totally empty words, or are you ready to reclaim your power, stop pouring your energy into a void, and step into the lonely but ultimately beautiful truth? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep seeking the truth.